Welcome back to First Step Gun Essentials. We're back out on the range at Shooter's World, and today we're going to do kind of a range Q&A. A lot of you guys probably have a lot of questions, so we're going to talk about some things like how we set up our range bag. We're going to talk about some things to look for in a range bag, including Vertx range bag, which is a very popular premium bag right now. We're going to talk about things like lights, lasers, optics, all these things that new gun owners that are looking to buy are getting into, so you're going to want to stick around for that. So let's dive right into how I like to load out my range bag. For those of you who are getting started, you might not know what to bring, so there's a lot of videos out there that list all this stuff to bring to the range, just saying multi-tools and tape and all this other stuff. I like to bring just what I need, especially at an indoor range. So this is just some of the items that I bring, and some of them might be beneficial to you. So what I like is, you definitely need ears and eyes unless you plan to rent, so I keep those in my case. We need a cleaning kit for after I fire my gun, so I got a breakthrough cleaning vision kit with a microfiber towel. I like to have a first aid kit with me. This one's not a requirement. I'm at an indoor range, but I keep one in my vehicle and I keep one in my range bag. It's just a nice thing to have. And I've got my pistol case for my Glock 43X. I also like to keep ammo in the brass pouches. I like to just put it in there, load it up before I go, and then if I take brass home with me, I can use it in that same brass patch, as well as an extra set of ears and eyes tucked away on the side. I also use the side compartments to preload my magazines, so that way I'm not wasting time out on the range to reload my magazines. And I've got little side compartments for some other miscellaneous items. But realistically, ears and eyes, a cleaning kit, your gun, ammo, and some targets, and you're good to go. Next, I want to talk about a range bag. There are so many range bags out on the market today in all shapes and sizes with all different kinds of compartments. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our range bag as well as another option on the market as well. I like this Vertx Cough Light range bag. It's a really premium quality range bag. It's got some nice features on it, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think about the bag overall and one of the things that I think you should look for in a bag. This bag is perfect for a new shooter with one gun. It's just big enough, it's not too small, you can kind of take it with you. It's got this cool, nice exterior look to it. You know, you got some Velcro, but it doesn't look like a tactical military bag. You've got this little integrated locking system where you could lock it to the inside of your car. For me, that's not really what I'm worried about, especially if I don't just leave a gun in the car. Usually I have it in the trunk, but that's definitely a nice feature. I do like how you've got very thoughtful compartments. So this Vertx bag, you've got this removable pouch that you can put ammo in, and it kind of divides the bag itself. Now, one of the things that I recommend in a bag if you're just starting out is you want a bag that fits your needs. So, for example, if you look at our bag, it's a decent sized bag. It's about 20 inches long and it's about 12 inches deep. But the reason I like my bag is it's big enough to hold what I need and grow into. One of the things I see a lot of people get is they buy one bag. The Vertx bag retails for about $150, and this is perfect if you're getting one gun, one set of ears and eyes. It's just you at the range. It's not big enough to hold targets or maybe a big, I think my first aid kit would probably take up all the space in the bag. So really think about your needs. There's plenty of brands on the market, but your needs are going to dictate which bag works best for you. So in my case, a bag that's got a little bit more space and allows me to bring everything that I need and has a place for everything, that's kind of why we designed the FSGE all-purpose range bag. So, but by all means, there's good brands on the market. I definitely would recommend not going too small at first, because then you might have to buy an additional bag later on down the road. It's not the end of the world. There's good bags out there, but just some things to think about. Now that we talked about range bags, let's talk about some of the other common accessories that a lot of new shooters are going to want to buy. So don't feel the need to buy these right off the bat. There are a lot of manufacturers out there, and you're going to want to take your time. So right now we're going to be talking about a laser and a light from IJK Optics. And let's talk about who needs a light. Well, it depends on your needs. If you are looking for a home defense gun and you got your home defense gun all set up, a good light is great, because if you reach for that gun at nighttime and you're in your house and the lights are out, a pistol light for home defense is a fantastic option. And I like these modern pistol lights that got a nice Picatinny rail and a nice easily accessible light switch that you can access with your finger from either side. Alright, next let's talk about lasers. This one is also from IJK. There are options on the market that have laser light combos or laser only or light only combos. This one is kind of one that I've gone back and forth on. I've had lights on my guns for years. For example, on my Glock 43, I carry the TLR6, which has a laser and a light. For home defense, like we just talked about, I definitely think a light is essential. I'm not as convinced that a laser on your gun is essential. It's a nice feature to have, but one of the things that I find is that when I'm shooting, I'm still focusing on the fundamentals of using my sights, whether that be irons or a red dot. And at times when I've used the laser out on the range, the laser jumps around when you're shooting, but it's not something that I felt is essential or something that I necessarily would recommend to a new shooter. Learn to shoot with the sights and the optic first. If you want to add a laser on down the line and you have the budget for it or you find one you like, by all means. Again, home defense, we recommend a light. Laser is kind of a nice to have. And I do like these green lasers because they look really good on the target, and you can see them at a lot further range. But most lasers, I feel like, are red and green lasers are becoming more popular. A really popular one for like a compact size pistol is this TLR7, but you've also got these full size, if you've got a longer barrel, like this TLR RM1, and for subcompacts like the 43, you can use this TLR6. So this one comes in a laser light option, but then there's also the light only option. So there's a range of options. Another popular brand is this the Surefires, and these are very powerful, really high quality, really durable lights. One of the things I don't like about the Surefires is of just how big they are and how long they are. So if you're carrying a compact pistol, you're going to notice that it's going to protrude past the barrel. So this will be great for like a full size or competition pistol. But you've got a range of options, good quality brands like Surefire, Streamlight, IJK, and if that's something you're looking to get into, those are great options for you. Another increasingly popular trend is optics. A lot of guns and manufacturers have moved towards optics-ready systems available on their guns, and this is something that, as it's kind of taken over the market and grown in popularity, has been something that I think a lot of shooters have questioned its worth, right? If you're a new shooter, I think learning the fundamentals and learning how to use your regular stock sights and then later upgrading to nicer sights and an optic are the way to go. So start out learning the basic fundamentals. Just jumping right to an optic isn't going to just magically make you a great shooter. Something like this Vertx Venom is what I keep on my Glock 19, but I also use a dual illuminated Trijicon RMR on my Glock 34. So Vertx makes fantastic optics, and we can do a later video specifically on red dots. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments below. We can talk into about things like MOA and some of the features that make certain red dot optics on pistols great. So let me know what you think in the comments below. So I think the Vertx is a great option. It's got an easy on and off. One of the things that you're going to have to consider when you do mount optics onto your sight is, one, there's a slightly different style of shooting. A lot of times that means that in order to co-witness, I need to replace my sights. These are suppressor height sights, so now I need to buy those as well. And then there's the cost of the optic itself. So don't get me wrong, shooting with an optic is nice, but for everyday regular shooting or everyday carry, it's one more thing you gotta buy, it's one more thing you gotta maintain, and the benefit, it's not gonna replace quality training, the benefit is really debatable. So as far as where I stand on optics, I think optics are a maybe. I think you should get quality training first, and then if you can afford it and if you want to buy an optic and mount it to your pistol, you can definitely do that. I recommend the Vertx Venom. This one it's a 3 MOA dot. It's been a really great optic for me on my Glock 19. Another brand like this Trijicon SRO, I have on my a couple of my other Glocks, I like the RMRs, and they have a dual illuminated option, which a lot of people like the ones that have a battery that you can mount. This one, mine uses ambient light. and so I don't have to worry about batteries. But Trijicon is another quality manufacturer that makes really good optics in general, but good optics for pistols. Another one that I think is really one, I haven't purchased one yet, but I'm about to. This Holosun has really been making quality optics. And what I really like about the Holosuns is a lot of them, this is a 507C, have a little mini solar option on them that will work even when your battery runs dead. So these are my top 3 brands that I would recommend if you're looking at getting into red dots between Vertx, Trijicon, and Holosun. There's an option that'll probably work for the pistols that you get. Additionally, deciding on whether or not you want an optic is something you probably want to think about when purchasing your firearm. So if you buy a firearm that's not optics ready, before all these manufacturers, people had to get their guns, their slide cut and milled so they can mount an optic. Now you have optics ready versions. So if you think you might want to buy an optic down the road, I recommend, like for Glock, they have what they call the MOS editions, which is the modular optic system. And what you can do is those come ready with the plates that you can remove so you can add the optic down the road. So let's say for the Glock 19, if you think you would want one, get the MOS edition, so that way if you don't have an optic, that's fine, and you can add the optic later. A lot of manufacturers are producing optics ready pistols now, so keep that in the back of your mind. You don't have to buy it right away, but it's nice to know that you can add it later on down the line. What questions do you have? We really wanted to talk about some of these basic things like our range bag setup, my thoughts on lights, lasers, and optics, because these are common things that a lot of times new shooters don't know where to turn. There's a lot of reviews on the quality of these products, but I wanted to kind of share from having owned these products and having used a lot of these products, kind of my thoughts on whether or not you need them right off the bat or whether or not you can wait on some of these purchases. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can support our channel by checking out some of our gear or just picking up a set of targets. We just got these FSGE hats in, so check those out on our website. And we'll see you next time at firststepgunessentials.com.